Now, because of all the time series having all these jagged components, we want to be able to smooth it so it gets rid of all those sharp edges. There's two ways that we can smooth it. We can smooth it doing a mean, or we can smooth it doing a median. Now, remember, the mean is the average, while the median is the middle. So we've got to be aware of that. Example 1 says the table gives a temperature in degrees Celsius recorded at a weather station at 9 a.m. each day for a week. Calculate the 3 mean smooth temperature for Thursday. So because we're looking for a Thursday, we want it on temperature. There's Thursday right there. And I only want 3 numbers. So there's one number, which means I have to include one number on either side of it because we're only looking at 3 numbers. So we're going to get the average of these 3 numbers. So remember, to get the mean, the average, we're going to add them up, 26.4, 13.9, 12.7, and we're going to divide by 3. When we do that, we're going to get 17.67. That's correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, so there's the mean temperature for Thursday, and we've got the 3. If we're doing 5 on Wednesday, well, there's Wednesday right there, so I have to include this one here. There's 5 numbers, that's 1. I'm going to have 2 on either side, so I'm going to have, and these 2 as well. So I'm doing it all of these 5 numbers. When it's an odd, that's how we do it. So 18.1 plus 24.8 plus 26.4 plus 13.9 plus 12.7, and we're going to divide by 5. Of course, I don't have to show all this work now. When you do that, you get 19.18. Part C is slightly different. It says find the 4 mean smoothing with centering temperature for Wednesday. Now, because we're doing this smoothing part and it's 4, we have to get a number on either side of Wednesday because we're looking at 4. It's an even number. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put a gap in here and a gap in here. So I'm going to find this gap. So in here, 2 numbers before it, 1, 2, 2 numbers after this gap, 1, 2. So I'm going to add those numbers up and work out, divide by 4 because I'm doing 4 mean. So when I do that, I get this one is 19.45. I'm going to do the same for this gap right here. So I'm going to do 2 numbers before it, 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. Add them up and divide by 4 because we're looking at a 4 mean. So when I do that, I get 16.8. But now I want to get back to the Thursday. So I'm going to get those 2 numbers, 19.45 and 16.8. I'm going to add them and I'm going to halve them, and that brings it back to the Wednesday number. And when I do that, I end up getting 18.125. So we do this when we've got an even number like 2, 4, 6, 8. We have to put a gap sort of on either side of what they're asking us to look at. Only when there's even numbers. Example 2, we're doing a 3 and a 5 mean moving mean. Now it's moving mean because we have to continue doing it for all of them. So if I'm doing a 3 here, I can't do it on this one here because I need 3 numbers. So I'm going to do these 3 numbers, add them up, divide by 3 because I'm doing a 3 moving mean. So that gives me 22 there. I'm just going to get rid of that. So now I'm doing it on 92. 92, one number before it, itself, and the number after it. And I have to divide by 2 gives me 20.67. And I'm going to continue to do that across the whole thing. It doesn't matter where I do it. So I'll just fill in a couple. This is 21, 20, 19, 54. I'll do this one on 97, 3 numbers, add them up, divide by 3 because I'm doing a 3 moving mean. That gives me 17 in there. There's nothing on this one because there's no number after it, so I can't do that one. And this one gives me 16. If I was to do a 5, same thing. Doesn't matter that it's in a table format. Okay, it's exactly the same thing. So here, I can't do this one and this one because if this is what I'm looking at, I need 2 numbers before it itself, 2 numbers after it. So I add those 5 and then divide by 5. So I get 21.2. and I'll just write a couple in. 20.2, 20.2 again, 18.8. I will do this one here for us. So this one here is on number 96, 2 numbers before it itself, 2 numbers after it, add them up, divide by 5, you get 18. Doing this one here is 17.2, and of course you can't do this one because there's no 2 numbers after it, and you can't do that one. So there's the 5 moving mean. If they give us something like this, where we're doing a 4 moving mean, okay, so this is a different table format, 4 moving mean again, you try to fit one in. So you need 2 numbers before and 2 numbers after it. So I can't do this one, put a space in here because there's only 1 number before it. So I'm going to come out, I'm going to put a space in here. 2 numbers before it, 25 and 18, 2 numbers after it. So there's my 4 numbers. Adding those 4 numbers up, so 25 plus 18, 23, 21, and dividing by 4 gives me this number in here, which ends up being 21.75. Now I can do this spot in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 numbers before it, putting a space right here, 18, 23, 21, 19, add them up, divide by 4, I get 20.125. It's right on the line that I'm writing it. So the next one would be right in there. Gives me 18. That's not 20.125. Sorry, that's not 20.125. I did the wrong thing. That is 20.25. This one here, I was already looking at the next one. 20.75. Right in there. So 21 plus 19 plus 20 plus 18 gives me 19, and divided by 4, 19.5. 1 in here, 2 numbers before it, 2 numbers after it, gives me 18.25. This one in here, 17.75. And then in there gives me 16.5. I can't do this one in here because there's no 2 numbers after it, so that is out. Now that I've got those ones, I've got my 4 moving mean, but they're not with the year. They're actually in between the years. That's where this centering comes in, because now I'm going to put them back with the year. So you're going to get these 2, and it's going to go back right in there on number 92. So adding them up, 21.75 plus 20.25, and centering means we just halve them. So when we do that, we get 20.5. The next 2 would be this one here and this one here, and it goes back on number 92. So 20.25 plus the 20.75 and halve it. We always halve it when we're centering, which gives me 20.125. And I'm going to continue. The next one's going to be here, which is 18.875. 18 for the next one, and 17.125. And that should be all of them. They should all line up with their respective ones. I might have them a little bit out of order there, can't really see.